Hey everybody, welcome to episode 120 of the HooperCast. So as you can probably guess, you can see me right now, so that's cool. I'm recording on video this week. Dustin could not make it. We were going to sort of tinker with this, so obviously I know this will work because everyone can record one video of themselves and put it on YouTube. The question did I get this wrapped up? Whoops. Sorry about that, phone. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I'm going to kind of see how long this takes me to put together and if I want to do any weird, cool stuff. Sorry about the light. It's tough to light this little booth I'm in because it's not really... I have like a lamp kind of shining on my face, so I hope this... Because I feel like I'm being interrogated if it's like that, so I kind of want to just... curl, but that's too far away, so it's just the best I could do with the light. So sorry if that's weird. I don't care what you think of what my light's doing, because that's what I feel. This episode is brought to you in part by Letterboxd. Right now, listeners of our show have the chance to win a free 1-year pro account upgrade or extension on Letterboxd. What is Letterboxd, you say? Letterboxd is a social network for film lovers that lets you track, rate, and review the films you watch, follow other members to get recommendations, publish lists of films, and plenty more. Letterboxd is free to use. Doesn't cost money, doesn't even cost love, doesn't cost friendship, and it doesn't cost dignity. In fact, you gain dignity by using Letterboxd. But a pro account provides additional features such as a customized summary of your past year's viewing. To enter this contest, which we, the HooperCast, can provide you with a free 1-year upgrade, pro upgrade, or extension on Letterboxd, then you need to email us at hoopercast@gmail.com with the code word in the subject line and your Letterboxd information contained in the email. People are getting confused, just saying, hey, it's Ricky. I want Letterboxd, yo. So give me that shit, man. And then they send me that, and I'm like, Ricky, thanks for listening, but I can't help you because I don't know who you are except Ricky, and that could be an alias. You could be a criminal. The code word, by the way, for April, we read out the winners at the end of each month. The code word for April is Doomsday. So yeah, email hoopercast@gmail.com. Maybe I'll put some text on the screen. Maybe I won't. Maybe there's nothing there. Maybe there's lots of things there. Or I'll put it here. Or there. Or just right over my face so you can't even see it. Anyway, hoopercast@gmail.com. Type in the code word Doomsday and your information for a chance to win a free Letterboxd Pro account, upgrade or extension, 12 years Pro account, Letterboxd free. Letterboxd.com, that's Letterboxd.com. I figured we could use this episode since I really rely on Dustin to help me keep the pace of the show up. The way the phone loads the email, I have a mass email of all the content I've looked through and seen. Anyway, during the pseudo hiatus, which we're still in the middle of, even though we're producing an episode, I was able to see a bunch of movies and TV that I really didn't want to review without Dustin here. But I'm going to do little mini speed rounds because I've seen them a while back at this point. I just feel like there's not really lots of discussion to be had about it. More of quick thoughts on all these films. So I'm just going to go through a speed round of movie reviews today. Massive speed round of movie reviews. I'm also not going to have a lot of stats on hand for you guys because this is not a professional show. I'm not a professional guy. So here's what I know off the top of my head about these films I may have seen months ago. First one is Walk in the Woods. This one came out sometime in 2015. I'm trying to catch up to get to the best of list. So the reason we watched A Walk in the Woods, my wife and I, is because we saw all the previews and it was like, Robert Redford, Nick Nolte, and Emma Thompson, A Walk in the Woods, rated R. And I was like, what? Why is that rated R? Because it looks like an innocuous, feel-good movie about old people camping. And so we said, well, we got to watch this. So we got it. And it's It's about Robert Redford, who is an author. He's an author. Here we go. I can do this, you guys. I'm so tired.
I'm so tired.
So he's an author, and he's reached, I think a friend of his dies. So he's like, hey, life is short. I've always wanted to go hiking and stuff. Let me tilt this up, give a little bit more headroom. Is this helping the shot composition a little bit? There we go. That's better, isn't it? He's always been like, yo, I've always wanted to go hiking and stuff. And so he wants to hike the Appalachian Trail, which is like a lot of miles. I can't remember how many miles. Is it like 1,000 miles? It's a lot of miles, and he's old, and so his wife is like, you're not going to do this alone, man, and you got to take someone with you. But he doesn't really have any friends who I don't know. But so he gets a call back from Nick Nolte, who he knew a long time ago, kind of lost touch. Nick Nolte's the crazy guy. You know, Robert Redford's the straight man. Nick Nolte is... What do you call the other guy? Because... whatever. It doesn't matter. Nick Nolte's like the crazy guy, the comic relief. And, this movie is all... And so they go hiking in the woods and they learn about things on the way. And they meet some interesting people on the way. And they... At the end, they're better for it somehow. Grown personally, maybe grown closer together. That's about it. This movie reminded me a lot of a movie called The Way, which was like the third episode of this whole show. And that one starred Martin Sheen. It was a lot more meaningful of a storyline having to do with his dead son and becoming closer to God and all that kind of stuff. This one was a comedic version, sort of a saccharine light version of that movie where they travel. It's a good excuse to go to lots of different locations, meet a lot of one-off characters who you don't have to explore too deeply, but also see some really gorgeous land, like mountains and different kinds of little towns and dives and just some cool variety of atmosphere. Is probably one of the best things you get out of a film like this. I felt like I haven't seen a lot of Robert Redford's movies. And that is certainly my fault, but Nick Nolte seemed way more committed to his role than Robert Redford was to his, or it could just be the kind of characters they were playing. I mean, Robert Redford's going to be normal. Nick Nolte's going to be huffing and puffing through the woods because he's Nick Nolte. Hey, hold up, you got to let me catch up. I can't catch up. Anyway, A Walk in the Woods was worth the $1 we paid at Redbox for it, but ultimately glad I didn't see it. By the way, it's rated R for some language and stuff. They don't witness a decapitation and no one gets attacked by a bear in the woods. That's not why it's rated R. Next movie on the list is the Divergent series, Insurgent. So I liked the first Divergent just fine. It's a young adult story. Probably, just got greenlit because of the success of the Hunger Games. And, it's okay. This one's bad, though. This one's quite bad. This stars Shailene Woodley, and she's the best part of the movie. That's it. I don't have much to say about this. She's committed to her role. She's really good at doing the whole almost cry, like the glossy-eyed almost cry eyes that really anybody can do as long as you just stand there and don't blink, Ow, damn it. Just don't blink, and then you can get the glossy eyes, and then, they dry up, but they also moisten at the same time. And then after a while, you're just like, no one's gonna save us. And it's easy. I just did it. That's acting. This franchise is weak, and it's just, I don't know. This is one of those, I don't have much to say. Forget the let's move on. Sicario, directed by somebody, shot by Roger Deakins. That's the biggest impression this film left on me, was that it was really beautifully shot. What can we expect, really, from Roger Deakins, who been Oscar nominated millions of times? Has he won an Oscar for cinematography? I feel like he has or should have. This movie stars Emily Blunt as a DEA agent who gets sort of grouped up with these guys from what turns out to be the CIA, I think. Well, headed up by Josh Brolin and then some other mysterious dude played by Benicio del Toro. And they're going and doing stuff in Mexico involving stopping drugs or helping. I'm not sure. There's some big twist in this movie, by the way. I didn't know what the big twist was because I sort of saw it coming the whole time, I think. That sounds like I'm making it up. Anyway, Sicario, really slow, boring, and ultimately at the end I didn't really see much of a narrative through line or any... It's one of those where, like, she doesn't... No one... I don't feel like anyone grows. I mean, obviously a couple things change, but it changes to, like, a more depressing outlook, and it's not really that fun to watch. You know what I mean? So, no, I don't recommend Sicario. This one got a lot of good reviews, but I didn't see the point why you should have to spend money to see it. Next is San Andreas, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Carla Gugino and what's-her-face's body parts. Excuse me. Carla Gugino and what's-her-face's personalities. This film it's spectacle. You know, The Rock is a helicopter pilot, like a search and rescue. God, what am I thinking of? What acronym am I thinking of? Well, anyway, he's he's a helicopter pilot. Biggest waste of muscle, by the way. You have the biggest guy on the whole team. He's like, I'll be the pilot. Usually he's like the climber or the big gun guy. There's no guns, though, because it's just rescuing, unless you're rescuing them from, like, mercenaries. But it just seems so weird. Like, the pilot seemed to be always, like, the thinnest guy on the team who was no good outside of the cockpit, but he could fly the hell out of that helicopter, man. No, The Rock is somehow I feel like you'd have to have extra, like, whatever the little spinny thing on the back of the helicopter is. You'd have to have extra strength there, because I feel like once The Rock got into the helicopter, you would just just lean forward because of all his muscle mass and arm butter. This movie is fun to watch, though. It's weird. I'm not really going to argue that San Andreas is a better made film than Sicario, but in terms of which one I'm much more likely to rent and watch again for escapism and fun, I want to watch San Andreas. Anytime they do a well-rendered rendering of a city being destroyed, which I know that I'm making a horrible argument here, except for the fact that if I wanted to be depressed, I'd look at my bank account. I don't need to look at Sicario. I could think of a better joke than that. If I wanted to be depressed, I'd look in the mirror, look in my wallet. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm losing focus. This is what happens when Dustin's not here. I'm losing focus. Guys, help me get my focus back. The point is, like, I want to have fun. So anyway, this movie, this movie's got a lot of just like, we gotta get here, now we gotta do this thing, we gotta do this, and, tension. Yeah, it's fun. It is fun. It's a fun movie. So I actually do recommend San Andreas. It's kind of schlocky. It was genuinely really distracting. God, what's the name of the actress who plays his daughter? She was the one in True Detective that had that scene with Woody Harrelson where she somehow isn't wearing shirts and he's handcuffed and they're having intercourse and stuff. Anyway, oh God, what's her name? I've probably thrown the graphic up at this point. They do that thing where, they dress them not really scantily, but it's always like a high angle shot looking down at her, like after she just got submerged in water or something. It's some PG-13 selling points, like, hey, I could see some stuff going on there, Timmy. Oh, cool, let's go see San Andreas. But then again, these days you can just Google it or many other things for that reason. I'm getting off topic. San Andreas, pretty cool. Straight out of Compton, me and somebody recently reviewed this Universal film, but then that somebody decided that maybe it was not a good idea to talk about a film made by Universal when they are a employee of Universal Creative, in case, just not worth really risking your job over. Even though he and I both agreed this movie was really good, I remember way back in the day, we never got to talk about this on the, well, we will, I guess, on the best of list, but Straight Outta Compton was so good. Even for what I felt like was a long movie, like, it was really well paced. I really liked all the actors, in particular, really everybody, but obviously, I don't remember their names, I'm sorry. The guy who played Eazy-E was really good. The guy who played Dr. Dre was like a stone cold ringer for him in terms of his look and everything else. And of course, O'Shea Jackson Jr. does a great job of playing his own father. But it really made me get into their music. I hadn't really been exposed to their music. I know, I seem like the target demographic for those gentlemen with attitudes.
Niggas with attitudes.
I was really into it, and I was really into like the F the police, all that sort of sentiment, and just all this feeling of, you're pulling for these guys, you want them to do well, and obviously all this has already happened, but you completely sympathize with them. And not only that, like, there's some genuinely cool, some awesome moments of like, Dre, I got something to say, and they throw up the middle finger, and then the cops rush, all that sort of fighting authority kind of stuff that always is fun to watch in films. But you've also got these really, really, really emotional scenes. Like, spoiler alert, Dr. Dre's brother dies, and they sort of stand around after he finds out, and they do what guys do, and there's not like this outward like, oh, tell me how you feel, or there's just this kind of like, damn, man, I'm sorry, and he's like, he's only 19 or something, I should have been with him, or if I just take him on a tour, and then like the scene kind of creeps. It's like a sneak attack of emotion, because you're just kind of like, oh, this is going to be a turning point in his life, and blah blah blah. But then, like, they all kind of come in, they do this, the arms around each other thing, and it's like, we're brothers, like we're always have each other's back, we're family. And scenes like that, all of a sudden you creep in, and before you know it, you're crying. You might be crying. I was. That too, and when Eazy-E was diagnosed, his whole, when he was found out he was HIV positive and he was going to die of AIDS, there's some real emotional scenes in this movie, and these actors really pull it off, and they really just made me, F. Gary Gray did a fantastic job of setting up the atmosphere of this film. I felt like I was in it with them. As much as I possibly could be from watching a film, but I really, this film really stuck with me. It truly, I will say this now that I really do know it and have seen it. It was a shame that this movie was not nominated for anything other than the screenplay. I think that was it for an Academy Award, because this film was extraordinary and certainly worth owning, and fantastic movie. If you never saw Straight Outta Compton, please go rent it right now. It's magnificent.
Performance of the song F the Police will not be permitted.
They try to tell us what the fuck we can't play. This NWA. Yo, Dre.
What up?
I got something to say.
I saw The Martian. We've reviewed a lot of these movies on the podcast before, so I don't want to go too far into it, because you can listen to past episodes. But The Martian, directed by Ridley Scott, starring Matt Damon. I'm not a fan of Matt Damon very much, but he was good in this. Any movie where one person's kind of got to carry a lot of the story by themselves deserves some commendation. And while he doesn't do the whole movie himself, kind of like Tom Hanks would in Castaway, or even Emile Hirsch in Into the Wild, some performances like that where you're carrying it. It's all on you. How dynamic are you on screen by yourself? So it's not quite that, because you got some cutaways, you got some stuff with NASA going on, but he's got no one to play off of for a lot of the the movie. So that definitely takes a lot of acting chops, and Matt Damon certainly has that. It was real light, real fun, and there was never a dull moment. There was always either some really important expository dialogue or some really good character stuff or jokes with Matt Damon. Every single scene advanced the plot and advanced this character, and I was surprised. I really did like The Martian. Shouldn't have won Best Comedy. Not that funny. He might not come home and his parents left to bury. Won't even have a body to bury. LOL. I saw Spectre. I'm not gonna say much on Spectre. I can't even. I'm starting to run out of steam here. Spectre. I agree with Dustin when we were talking. When we reviewed this movie as well. It's just not that special, and was kind of boring in and of itself, and just no. I wouldn't say skip it, but I mean, yeah, skip it. There's no reason to watch it, I don't think. We watched the Peanuts movie. This is an acquired taste, I think. The Peanuts movie is computer animated, but they did probably the best job humanly possible to retain the style that Charles Schultz, drew them in. Even Pigpen, arguably the hardest one to animate, still got that cloud, so it's still 2D but 3D at the same time. Here we go. Peanuts sucks. There's some little thing like Charlie Brown Christmas, like it's classic, I get it, but it's boring, and it's one of those kind of things that's if they wrote funnier jokes, you could stick with these characters a little more, but they're always talking about these obscure, either straight up just slow, like shallow not shallow like you're shallow, but like shallow nothingness of conversations about like either acceptance or, but what if the redhead girl does this, and either that or it's like this lofty philosophical existential sort of whatever about why are we here, what's my purpose, Lucy, and this and I'm gonna do the football again, and it was just I don't know, it wasn't that great. Don't see it. Black Mass, starring Johnny Depp, and with Jesse Plemons and a bunch of other people. That was the one directed by, I guess his name is Scott Cooper. This film is about Whitey Bulger, the notorious gangster Whitey Bulger, and his relationship with the FBI, particularly Agent John Connolly, because Whitey Bulger, for those who don't know, was the notorious gangster in Boston in the 70s, maybe into the 80s, and then he was approached by the FBI, basically by John Connolly, who idolized him growing up, and said, "Hey, so we want you to be an informant for us, but not like a rat. Like you can inform, but just give us something. I'll help you. I'll help get the heat off of you, so you can sort of take down the Italians who are coming in and ruining Boston. Those freaking those guineas from New York and stuff. They're coming into Boston, and they're screwing up all the Irish stuff we got going on here. So I'll help you keep them at bay. So just give me information on your competitors and give us something, and I can look like a hero for getting information from Whitey Bulger, and then you can." All right. This is getting annoying, so we're just going to turn off the video portion for now. Anyways, so yeah, Johnny Depp was really committed as Whitey Bulger, but the movie itself was pretty boring. Didn't really do much for me. It was pretty run-of-the-mill. But it was important for Johnny Depp, I think, to do this film to show people, like, hey, I don't just do this silly Alice in Wonderland Tonto shit. I can do stuff where I'm like a mean guy and I'm hardcore. It was fine. It was if you're a fan of Johnny Depp, I recommend Black Mass, because he's, although not as transformative as that trailer would have you think. There's some very familiar tics of his you can pick out of his performance that make it seem a little less unique. But very good performance, but not a very great or memorable film. The last one is The Good Dinosaur. I didn't want to watch this. I hadn't heard great things about this latest Pixar entry. but Tara and I got this one from Redbox, and the Good Dinosaur. It's weird because they always say like in every Pixar movie they really step up their game with some element of something. I mean, in Cars, that really you could tell their animation had really taken a big step forward. In the Good Dinosaur, so hold on, the story's about I forgot the freaking thing's name, the main dinosaur, but he's like the runt of his pack, and he gets separated from his family at a certain point and is going to find his way back home, and he does it with the help of like this little cave boy who's it takes place basically if the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs didn't hit Earth and make the dinosaurs extinct, then so that's why humans and dinosaurs are coexisting. So it's interesting because the little dinosaur boy main character is like the child character, and then the little human boy that doesn't talk but acts like a ravenous wild animal is kind of like the comedic animal part. So it's interesting to see like this big sweet species swap where the main character is an animal and the funny animal side character partner is a human being that acts like an animal, more like an animal than the actual dinosaur does. So this film is pretty generic when it comes to like that basic plot line and most of its structure really, and it's real gorgeous to look at because the animation is damn near photoreal. I say damn near for a specific reason, but there were like one time like he falls in like this river, or like the river, he gets knocked out or something, and so he wakes up kind of on the shoreline, right? So the first thing you see just like these colorful rocks like under like a thin layer of water, and you can hear the trickle and everything. And I swear to God, it looked like some footage from Planet Earth or Disney Nature Earth. It looked like high definition nature footage. And what ruins it is this god awful character design, this super basic like generic dinosaur design, like just the smooth green kind of brontosaurus but with absolutely zero texture on it, just sort of blank slate of a generic dinosaur template they have, and it sucks because it sort of does jump out. It's like rendering an early render of Homer Simpson, but putting him in like a real, like in the CG of Metal Gear Solid or something. It's like, wow, this background is really well developed and detailed and pretty real looking, but this character design is so generic. It's obvious that it's not real. So I don't know that I expected them to straight up animate like one of the T-Rex, like the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World or anything into this environment, but it was a weird like a weird juxtaposition to have this kind of blank generic looking dinosaur mixed in with this extremely detailed and well rendered animation. Just all the nature animation in this film was beautiful. The wind in the trees, water movement, everything just was so well done. So the movie's real pretty to look at, and I guess really for that alone I can recommend it as a rental. But I wouldn't cross my fingers in terms of the story really being that groundbreaking or hitting home that much with the emotion. There are some crazy things in here for a Pixar film, I thought, where there was either the way they dealt with certain characters dying, or he has a real creepy dream at one point. That it wasn't like scary by any means, but I felt like it was at least weird or sort of ominous enough to where it might be unsettling to young kids. I don't know. I do recommend The Good Dinosaur, so that's my thoughts on that. Bye this week. Thank you for watching or listening. Please come back next week. Please comment, do you like the video or not? We'll see if we can keep it up. If this thing stops breaking, then maybe we can do it. Maybe not. Maybe just short episodes under 30 minutes. Which is pretty reasonable for a video episode, I think. So we'll be back next week, maybe we won't be, and I'll try to look at the camera the whole time. It's really tough too because I'm trying to make sure I'm centered, and I'm trying to make sure my recording keeps going, which is how I saw the freeze in the first place to begin with. So I'll try to look into the webcam because that's where you're looking, and that's where my eyes ought to be. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please participate in the contest. We like having winners. We like giving you guys all the Letterboxd stuff. Don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but I've just sort of wiped off my catalog now of all the stuff I've seen recently. So I'm sorry if to first-time viewers or listeners, the podcast is usually more in-depth than all this speed round stuff. But I've just been sitting on those reviews for weeks now, and I need to get them out because, as you can tell, I've already just forgotten so many details that it's going to diminish the quality of the review. So I just wanted to get those out there, test out the video while I could. So thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. See ya. Woo!